In 24 hours, I changed the trajectory of my life. I was living in DC at the time. I had that 9-to-5 job. I was working for an international nonprofit. I had the salary. It was probably the only time in my life that I had a salary, my only salaried job ever. I had the 401k, I had the professional attire, the heels, the nails, and I was making it. I was like, cool, here I am, mid-20s, living in DC, doing the thing. I had a good group of friends. I had to make new friends, right? Because I was coming from Vermont. I had to start over, find a new group. We started hanging out, did happy hours after work, parties on the weekend, social hangs, social gatherings, all the things. That was the first couple years. The first couple years were great. Then I met rock. That should have been my first red flag. His name was Rock. And we hung out in the same circle, right? In and out, meeting each other, hanging out, doing the things. The chemistry was insane. The sex, fucking outstanding. But he was toxic as fuck. So we played the on and off game for about a year. And what I started to see in myself was an unbecoming. I was losing my identity. I was making weird decisions, making weird choices, saying yes to the wrong things, not listening to what was happening inside. I was losing my identity. I didn't realize that at first. It took me a while to figure out that that's what was happening. So we played that on and off game, doing the whole thing. Then I get connected with my friend Sonia. She's from Vermont. She's like, hey Jess, let's go to LA. Let's go visit Pat. Our buddy Pat, he'd moved out there right after high school. We were a very tight unit, our Vermont crew. We grew up together. We experienced some intense losses together. We were very bonded. So we were like, okay, cool, let's go. So we went out to LA. It was June, I think 2011. And we hung out with Pat, hung out with his LA friends, stayed there for a couple days, went down to San Diego. It was a great trip, girls' trip, all the things. I get back to DC, and then I get a call from Pat a little after the 4th of July. Hey Jess, my roommate's moving out. I need a new one. Do you want to come? Huh. I sat with that. I asked him some logistical questions because that's my brain. What does that look like? How much is rent? You know, what am I going to do for work? All the things. And I was like, let me sit on it. Let me sit on that. So I did. For 24 hours. I called him the next day and I said, I'm in. Because what I realized was that was an opportunity. The universe was presenting me with an opportunity. Because I couldn't escape the rock circle. Every time we would split, we would all hang out, we would come back together, the toxicity ensued. I couldn't figure out how to get out of it. So the universe gave me an option. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it was easy. The next 30 days, I was a mess. Should I go? Should I not go? I've already said yes. I've given him a down payment. What if I stay? What happens if I stay? What will my life look like if I stay? What does that mean for me? No, Jessica, you have to go. You have to go, you have to go, you have to go. I talked to my friend Sonia in that 30-day window, and she's like, Jess, you have to go. And I was like, well, what if, well. She's like, Jess, I want to tell you something. She's like, your tolerance for bad behavior, for inappropriate behavior, for toxic behavior is high because of your mother. And I was like, oh. No one had ever said that to me before. I didn't get it. But I'm so grateful that she was strong enough to tell me that, and that I was brave enough to listen. And that really changed my thought process on how I was moving forward. So 30 days comes and goes. I'm on that plane. I'm headed to LA. It's a one-way ticket. That first year in LA was tough. I had a lot of self-reflection to do. I read all the self-help books. I was like, okay, I have some more clarity around why I've made some of the choices I've made. Let me work to correct that. Let me work to fix that. So that first year, I dug in, and I did. And then, as you know, LA became this beautiful space for me to grow and to flourish. I met my husband. I got my master's degree. I really started to find myself. Fast forward to January 21, entrepreneurship, another opportunity that kind of fell in my lap. I wasn't planning to be an entrepreneur. It wasn't on my radar. I was headed in a different direction. But the universe put that opportunity in my space. And I could say yes because I'd already said yes to a different opportunity. And that turned out really amazingly. So I could step into this new opportunity and say yes again, knowing that it would be okay. And here I am 5 years later, living this life I had no idea was possible. Living my most authentic self, flourishing, thriving, making incredible connections with incredible women, making an impact. So if I leave you with anything else, what I want to encourage you to do, what opportunities are being presented? The universe presents them for you. Do you have the awareness to see them? Number one. Number two, are you brave enough to seize them? Because you never know what's on the other side of that yes. Thank you.